Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, Week 6 game picks, previews, survivor selections, Tim's free money, which never wins. Actually, it won once, so that's really impressive. The record is now like 1 in 100 lifetime. So if you bet a firm on each of them, you once won 2 firms. The other time, you lost a lot of firms, and that's not good. Bad for your, like, 10 times down mortgage. That's never good. Geoff Fienberg's here. What's up?
How's it going? And the tragedy in that, Pat, is there's always a fool who doesn't know us and sees, oh, free money, this guy. I'll play it.
It's like those gambling sites, which they build like a stock list of people, and they're like, can't lose on our free money lock of the century. And they send one pick to half the people, and the other side of the pick to the other half of the people. Like, these guys know what they're talking about.
Yep.
That's basically Tim's free money, except it never wins. Let's bring him in. Anyway, to break down the games with us for the Week 6 slate, it is official insane person, Tim Cust.
Tim Cust.
That is not my name.
That is your official title, though.
No, it's not. That's just the title you give it.
That makes it official. This is the Pat Mayo Experience, pal.
Don't you worry about that.
No, I'm not worried about it. It sounds like you're the one who's worried.
No, I'm not worried about it. The people who I represent know who I am.
Is that a shrinking... Tim told me. I don't even want to get off on a huge tangent here to start. He ranked his favorite cuts of steak the other day, and he said he went to a fancy steakhouse and was really disappointed there was no HP sauce for it. The ketchup of steaks.
They brought it. They just didn't bring it with the steak, which is what irritated me.
So you had to, like, ask for the HP sauce?
Yes, I said.
Did they give you, like, a look like, sir, maybe this isn't for you?
Hold on, though. That's normal.
And like a nice steak joint.
Like they have it, but you're going to have to ask for it. It's not going to be on the table.
I'm surprised the chef didn't come out and try to stab you. How dare you sully my meal with this nonsense?
The heck does he care? I'm the one paying for it. I like a little bit of...
You know what?
Listen, I mostly wanted it for my french fries. But I wanted a little bit for my steak as well. You know what? That's the way I wanted it.
I'll say this. I got to say this. That steak ranking was the first time ever that I think I agreed at every single piece of that ranking.
Well, then he said that Salisbury steak should be on the list, but Salisbury steak isn't steak.
I didn't see that. I'm just talking about his steak, not the cuts, sorry, how they're done.
Thank you.
I've complete agreement with every part of that list.
See, I did not. The fact that you had well done over blue is just, well done is DFL.
Well, by that point, they're the same to me.
That's with people with no taste buds.
They're both DFL to me.
Let's sizzle all the good stuff right out of it. Anyway, let's get into the recap of last week. Geoff won the week, 8-4-2. I was 7-5-2. 6-6-1 was Tim, and the coin. The coin took a bath. Paul, we need a coin for the coin. I don't have a coin. If you can rally one up for me, that'd be great. The coin was 3-9-2. Still,
no, I can flip a coin instead.
Yeah, but no one trusts you. You'll curse that coin. That'd be real bad news. We'd have to get rid of that, burn it right afterwards. But you started off hot fire last week, Tim, and the fact that you went 6-6-2 is disappointing. It has to be.
Incredibly disappointing. Yeah, I was 6-2-1 out of the jump, and just everything went sideways for me in the 5 o'clock games. I just couldn't get any of them right.
5 o'clock. People are thinking, who is this guy? There's no such thing as 5 o'clock games.
Anyone's been watching this show for a while is not surprised.
Sorry. I'll say this as well. Me going 8-4-2, Pat, great. Guess what? The 4 games that I bet, 2-2.
Ooh.
So, like, that's just such a killer.
Well, that's what happened to me in the Super 7 last week. 2 weeks ago now, that it ended up going, I think I was like 7-8 for the week, or whatever the hell I was, 6-8, and all my losses were basically piled into the Super 7. I had to switch this week.
Best week ever. We went 3-3-1, our team.
Oh, I was 5-2 last week. I had a rebound week. I feel like I'm gaining some momentum in the Super 7. I feel a 7-0 coming. It's either a 7-0 week or an 0-7 week. So
I got a feeling you got 7-0 coming.
Oh no, you could have just said 0-7 and made me feel better.
That would be a lie, though, and I don't lie.
No, okay. You still don't acknowledge the curse, although the curse is pretty real.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's pretty real. Do you have a coin?
Oh, I do actually.
Oh, here we go. Geoff, we're going to use the ceremonial coin.
It's a toonie.
Oh, it's a toonie. Perfect. All right, let's get into the first game. Thursday nighter, we have Carolina -3 at home against Philadelphia. This game was made super easy for me. I was really torn on it. I was like, man, Philly looks good. Carolina, I haven't really believed in, but obviously they go on the road to Detroit, who I thought was all right, and all of a sudden they're looking good as well. They've had 2 road wins in a row. Now they're back at home. Lane Johnson is not playing in this game, and as we saw with the Eagles season last year, not to say that's definitely going to happen again this year, but Carson Wentz reeked as soon as Lane Johnson was out of the lineup for the Eagles in 2016. He is not here this week on the short week. I just think Carolina's defense is going to be too much. We're going to see a different Carson Wentz here.
Easy. You said it, and I'll throw on. I'm uncertain if Fletcher Cox is going to play. A healthy Philadelphia Eagles team I'd look to back here Thursday nights. I think you blindly just back the team you believe is more talented. Short rest. I believe that normally will rise to the top more Thursdays than not. But with these injuries, I'm happy to take Carolina. And I think even in the super, well, I think this line could be.
We can't do it in the super.
Yeah, this line could be a bit of value because I could see it. I think it could even be 3.5 or higher with these injuries in the real world.
But by the time, I mean, this is what it was. I mean, the only ones I grabbed from the super contest were the ones that were actually off the board. These are the strict betting lines as of 10 o'clock Thursday morning.
Mark me down for Carolina, and if you're watching this soon enough, I'll probably have real money on it, I think.
The coin likes Carolina as well. Tim, talk us into Philly.
Yeah, the Eagles are the better physical team. The Eagles are probably the best team in the NFC right now. Their quarterback, they are. The only loss is to the best team in the league at Arrowhead. And they beat what turns out to be a pretty darn good, by the numbers, Washington is statistically the second best team in football. They went into Washington and beat them. Philadelphia is a darn good team. Philadelphia right now is probably going to be one of the two bye teams, considering the fact that the Giants are garbage. They still have to play the Cowboys twice, who can't stop a cold. So this is a good spot for the Eagles. I understand the Lane Johnson point. I'm still not 100% all in on the Panthers yet, and I'm not 100% in on Cam Newton yet.
Well, could you ever be 100% in on Cam Newton? You hate Cam.
I'm not a fan of his character and a fan of the way he acts on and off the field for the most part. I don't think he's good for the game. But I think Wentz is playing great. I think that Philadelphia is the better team, and they get the W here.
I'll say this quickly. I agree with his assessment of the Eagles as it pertains to the 17-week season.
I think it's a bit early to be calling teams teams after 5 weeks.
No, sorry, I don't mean the best team, but this is a team I'm really high on for their outlook for the full season. That's no secret.
But there's one of these.
This is a bad spot game.
I agree.
He thinks this is a good spot for Philly. I completely turn that. I just think this is a bad spot. Short week, road, big injuries. This one's easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for me. I'm not going to lay a huge piece on it. You know what I've really found with these Thursday night games? You know who I really like in them? Big favorites.
Tony Romo, I thought you were going to say.
No, I like Tony Romo as well. But as we've seen over the course of the past 3 years, there's like a -7 or higher team. The really good teams playing against your mediocre to bad teams steamroll them.
Talented teams in the short weeks always seem to have an advantage.
And I think these teams are close to even, so I'll take the home team and the team that's a bit healthier right now. Devin Funchess was banged up, but he's back. He's going to play. So, Tim, good news for your fantasy team.
Yeah, well, he's their number one receiving option. He's clearly the more important than Benjamin right now, so that helps.
I mean, but it also helps their offense, too. I mean, now that they've lost...
Is their most important receiving option McCaffrey?
No. I mean, yes and no. In a way, he is, because teams give him so much respect that it alters how they play, and it leaves everyone else wide open. Look what happened to the Patriots. I mean, that was their entire game plan. Don't let Christian McCaffrey beat us. And then everyone else was just wide open. Last week, it seemed like all the linebackers just shadowed Christian McCaffrey, and then this Ed Dixon guy, he can't catch. We'll leave him wide open. So, I don't know. I like the way that their offense is rolling right now. I'm not completely sold on the Panthers either, but I'm also not sold on the Eagles. We see this every single year. Remember last year when the Vikings were definitely the best team in the league, and then all of a sudden they didn't make the playoffs?
But I don't think the Eagles are the best team. I think the NFC...
The way Tim is talking, the best team in the NFC, for sure going to get a bye.
Well, I think they are, even though the numbers say Washington's the best team in the NFC.
Well, how much do you believe these numbers? You were going on about DVOA, how now it's wrong because it has Jacksonville.
If I actually had to pick a best team in the NFC, to me it's Atlanta. Because the only game they lost was handed to them by the referees, and all their receivers got hurt.
But they also won 2 games at the goal line, too. So
yeah, fair. I think the NFC's tight. It's wide open. But I do believe, and we said it off the top of the season, Philly is better than they were last year. They made good free agent signings. And their quarterback is developing. He's better than he was a year ago. And this team, if they can stay healthy, I agree with a lot of Tim's outlook.
Like I said, I'm not trying to down Philly. I don't necessarily think they're going to miss the playoffs or anything. But there's some teams right now
absolutely
that are 4-1, and everyone's like, oh, man, they are awesome. They are unbeatable. Watch out for them in the Super Bowl. And then they don't make the playoffs.
And we laugh. Well, at Christmas, we'll laugh at how long ago this was.
Yeah, and be like, man, remember when Philly was good?
Yeah.
Philly should still be good. Listen, I don't want to. I'm using them as they're
Yes.
probably the wrong example, but they strike me as one of these teams that could be 8-7 by the time that we're going into week 17.
That being said, Cam looks like the 2 years ago Cam the last couple of weeks.
He's
so.
not, and the thing is, he's strategically running now too, which is good because at first he wasn't running at all. And that kind of kills everything he wants to do. But now he's not running too much like he used to. He's picking his spots. It's very Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson-esque, where, hey, we need a first down. I can get this first down. I'll get the first down. But I don't need to run on 1st and 10 every time. So I like that from him. He's keeping himself healthy. Let's get into the Sunday games. Chicago at Baltimore. Baltimore's -6 at home. It doesn't look like Terrence West is going to play for them. We know that their defense is banged up. With Chicago, Trubisky looked all right until he made some critical rookie mistakes, but he looked a lot better than Glennon, I would say. And that was against a good defense in Minnesota. This is not a good defense, but Tim, let me ask you, do you think this difference between Chicago at home and Chicago on the road is a real thing?
Yes, it's been my philosophy now since week 1. We take the Bears at home every week. We bet against them on the road. And so we're going to keep on trucking here. We're going to take the Ravens. We're going to lay to 6, and the Ravens are the first leg of a free money 5-team teaser.
5-team teaser? How many point teaser is this?
It's a 7-point teaser. So actually, it's the only time we'll violate the rule and we'll tease through 0, but we're going to. And we'll make the Ravens +1.
The weird thing about Chicago as opposed to the road and at home, it seems like their defense is a lot better at home than it is on the road. Because they went and got tuned by Tampa. They went and got lit up at Green Bay. At least those two offenses on paper, like when they're playing their best, are really good. Like, Jameis hasn't looked the best, but if he's having a good game, he definitely has weapons to take advantage. Does Baltimore have that?
I don't think they do, but I'm still going to pick on Chicago. That being said, Trubisky, the moving sideways, his arm strength
is so
and
good.
Accuracy while moving sideways.
Yeah, but he tried.
Really impressed.
That is a problem for him right now, though, because he puts way too much faith in it. Like even that.
That's a college player.
Fair.
That's a college kid, right? That's not a pro offense yet.
But even some of the passes that he made, like trying to throw back across his body, Dak did the same thing in the Sunday Nighter
And the
too.
touchdown should have been picked, or at least no way.
The touchdown should have been picked.
Sendejo, a great safety, usually knocks that down totally or picks it.
But it's weird. Like once you develop into a real NFL quarterback and you develop some consistency and make better decisions, you have to know that if you're rolling one way and trying to throw back across your body, it might come up a bit short. If you're going one-on-one to the end zone way down the field, it's probably not the best decision to make. It worked out for him. Bad process, though. It's like Tim always says, being on the right side of a bet even though you get it wrong. He was on the right side of a throw, or he was on the wrong side of the throw. It just happened to go right for him. But I do like, the problem with him is they legit has no one to throw to. Like they had the principal of Boston Public, Chi McBride, out there making catches for them.
And now it'll be a short week. So I just think Baltimore, I expect a close game wouldn't shock me, but I got more confidence in Baltimore doing something to put it over the number than I do Chicago battling late on the road.
I don't have a really good feel for this
Horrible
game.
feel.
So I'm going to kind of stick with what we had kind of said laid out at the top. Chicago at home. Even though I picked the Vikings last week, it was a push. Didn't matter either way. But they're undefeated against the spread at home. They're winless against it on the road. I'll stick with Baltimore. And that's around to Baltimore for all of us here. Although Jeremy Mack will deal with a shoulder injury as well. But the coin, he's in on Baltimore as well. Or it is in on Baltimore. I do not know the gender of the coin. Cleveland at Houston, -9.5 for Houston.
That was a very othering comment you just made.
Why?
You didn't know its gender. You assumed it. It was very othering.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I trigger you?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Cleveland at Houston, -9.5. Houston at home. Is Deshaun Watson really good, or has he been the beneficiary of playing the Patriots defense and them scoring a lot of points, so he got to drop back and pass a lot, and then they were just basically getting waxed by the Chiefs last week, and he made it look close with some excellent throws downfield and putting up points, but now that they're a huge favorite against Cleveland, what do you think this offense looks like? Do you think they pass as much? Do you think it's going to be a lot of running? Obviously, their front seven is absolutely decimated right now. Kevin Hogan is at quarterback for Cleveland, who is exponentially better than Kaiser, because poor Kaiser was Andercursed and just can't get his life on track. He might be out of the NFL soon, Tim.
It's not his fault. I mean, hasn't been playing
well,
great.
I know it's not his fault he was Andercursed. That's your fault.
No, I know he wasn't playing great, but he doesn't have any help. So I think either he should never have been given the chance to start without any help, or he should still be in the game. you can't do a half measure here. Either you got to give him the entire year to learn and figure things out, or you should have never had him in to begin with because he wasn't ready. So another reason why I think Hugh Jackson has to go. I think that guy needs to be relieved of his duties. And they should do it quickly. I mean, why wait? You know, they're not going to bring him back next year if they're 2-14 again. So let it go.
I hate this team so much.
I'm
the moron for going to the well with these guys.
I'm done.
I actually put money on them last week. And, okay, sometimes, you know, I'll even watch at my buddies. We got a lot of TVs. There's always games that have to be made.
And what you were saying is that Browns-Jets may have been a sacrificial lamb
No,
game?
usually it was. No, for some reason, I feel like what ended up being a good game, Colts-Niners ended up being sacrificed
It's funny.
early.
I was going to tell you, I watched basically that entire game. That was my...
The Jets-Browns or what? The Colts-Niners?
We actually had Jets-Browns. We had 5 TVs. We had that on TV.
Problem.
I had that on my iPad, though. I was like, oh, Brian Hoyer, here we go.
Betting the Browns, watching the Browns, it's a completely different experience than just seeing the final score. They don't play the game properly. They're like hitting on 19.
I watched every.
Pat, it's crazy. They're not playing the game properly. There's like a functionality to the game that like is supposed to happen that they have no concept of.
I'm with you, 100%. The Texans are the play, and we're teasing them down to -2.5.
I can't wait to see what screws you this time around. I now have a feeling it's going to be Baltimore. Although we nailed Pittsburgh last week. Told you to take that off the teaser, and we both talked ourselves out of Eliminator with Pittsburgh and went on to Philly. Got to watch out for Saxonville. Although I bet you're going hard against them this week, aren't you?
Cleveland, they are so committed to this Moneyball method. I saw a report this week. They have the fewest actual scouts in the league. Like, it's strictly about what the math says.
Well, they might get
They got all these draft picks. If they can't hit on nothing, it won't matter.
They'd be better off listening to what the Fox says rather than what the math says.
What? Sick reference, Tim.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to keep hip.
Yeah, you're trying to keep hip with internet videos from like 6 years ago.
I finally caught on to.
He's going to be telling us his brand new nickname for players when he calls them Chocolate Rain. You just saw it last week. It's a big viral video if you didn't know.
So, I hate this so much.
I'm taking Cleveland. Screw it.
No, but I didn't even give you a pick.
You just talked about how terrible Cleveland is. I assumed you were taking Houston.
But then there's this 9.5 point concept. I think that's too many points.
I mean...
I'm not betting it. I'm not touching it.
Houston has put up tons of points. I don't know if Cleveland can kind of match them frame for frame here. But if Houston runs the ball the entire time, Cleveland has a chance. And
Houston's got huge injuries now, too, right?
They do, but is that really going to matter against Hollywood Hogan?
Okay, probably not. And I'll say this. Week 1 of the injuries, there's usually like adrenaline. Like the guys that aren't nearly as good on defense,
get all fired
take it upon themselves. But in a week or two,
they still have Clowney on the defensive line to get to the quarterback.
I'll go.
They went without Watt all last year and made the playoffs.
I'll go with Houston for this picking process, but I don't.
Yeah, this game.
I can never. Cleveland, they just don't do the game properly.
Detroit at New Orleans. New Orleans coming off the bye is a 4.5 point favorite at home. Detroit obviously did not look great last week when they lost to Carolina. Although, if there was some way to sub Matt Stafford into your fantasy team where you only got you got 3/4 of someone else and the fourth quarter stats for Matt Stafford, he would be tremendous. Guy lights it up in the fourth quarter, but he's dealing with an ankle and thigh injury. Their offensive line has been putrid. According to DVOA and adjusted sack rate right now, the New Orleans Saints are top 10 at getting to the passer. That is a bad recipe for a team that might have to throw a lot against New Orleans. Drew Brees generally just absolutely destroys teams at home coming off of bye. I think Seeley said it on the Tuesday show. I think it's 100 or 370 yards and 3.1 touchdowns on average at home coming out of the bye for Drew Brees. So that's pretty enticing. But 4.5 seems a lot for a lot of points from New Orleans, who, I don't know, I wasn't particularly sold on, although they've won 2 in a row. They beat Carolina, which is a nice win as it turns out, and they beat Miami, who can't score, so that's not super impressive. Geoff, where are you going here? Because I kind of like the Lions.
This game seems really strange. Hey, how do you not like the Lions? I got nothing to want about the Saints here.
You really like the Lions?
Yeah. Like, I love the Lions.
Really?
Yeah.
I put a lot of faith in the Lions last week. I made them my super lock, and they lost. Because I thought they were getting disrespected on the line last week by not being full 3-point favorites at home. It turned out the Carolinas went and waxed them. Maybe this division just has Detroit's number. I don't know. Like,
Lions keep games close. Lions can get us the back door. Lions, look at all the loss. Like, they'll fight. This is a lot of no. This line is to me really wrong. This could be a real big piece of
big play here for you.
Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I don't quite understand the number. I know New Orleans is coming off a bye, and they played well last time we saw them. And their offense is, again, a top 5 caliber of offense. But, the Lions going on the road is not great, but it's indoors, so that detracts from some of the disadvantage that a dome-fast team has inside. Yeah, give me the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions, too. I don't like that Stafford's beat up, and I don't like that their offensive line has played so poorly, and coupled with the pass rush. I feel like I'm talking myself into the Saints here. You know what? I'm going to switch. I'm going to go with the Saints. I don't have a good feel for this game, but what does New Orleans score here? 35 points? Does that seem all right? I mean, Detroit's already lost to Carolina. They've already lost to Atlanta. Maybe they just can't play against the NFC South.
I guess
division's got their number.
Both of these teams' last games were against the Panthers, and the Saints crushed them, and the Lions got lost to them. I guess that's the thought process.
Well, I mean, if we did that, I saw someone tweet at you, sort of the logic behind the Jets being the best team in football. And
I was fired up.
That got you fired up, did it?
I appreciated that.
I kind of want to take the plus 4.5, but I don't like Lions in shootout games. I like it when the other team, their defense, I mean, outside of Slay, their defense has started to look a little bit worse, as it did for the first 3 weeks of the season. And New Orleans isn't going to be stopped, are they? And now they don't have to give the ball to Adrian Peterson, so that's good news. Get him off the team. What a distraction he was.
Yeah, just staring at Sean Payton the whole time.
Yeah, trying to switch Sean Payton in the locker room.
4.5 points with the better team? The better coaches?
You'd really put Jim Caldwell over Sean Payton?
This version, old Sean Payton.
Still the same guy.
No,
he just doesn't have the talent.
No, the chalkboard doesn't work for him like he used to.
All right, so you guys, and the coin is with you on Detroit. I will take New Orleans. Game of the early slate, potentially. Green Bay at Minnesota. Don't know if we're going to have Sam Bradford here. I would say no, based on the way that he looked Monday night, and Case Keenum looked all right. Is Case Keenum better than Sam Bradford?
When Bradford's hurt, yes. Obviously Bradford still wasn't ready to go. When Bradford's 100% right, he's obviously better.
Obviously better?
Saw it week 1 when he was 100% against the Saints, and he was just dicing them up.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we saw him for 1 week, so he must be the greatest quarterback of all time.
That's the Sam Bradford he can be, but he's been hurt ever since.
I mean, the Sam Bradford from week 1 looked nothing like the Sam Bradford from basically any other game of his career.
He just didn't look right till Monday night, so I don't think we're going to see him.
No, he couldn't transfer his weight onto his left leg. He couldn't throw the ball. So, I get that he's still hurt, but what if he's healthy? Do you think that they run him back out here?
No, not in this game. They will in a couple of weeks when he's ready to go, but not right now.
Is there a chance that he loses his job to Teddy Bridgewater?
No, I don't think we're going to see Bridgewater this season.
He's eligible to come off the PUP list, I believe, next week.
That's nice. He hasn't practiced and been able to physically do anything in months. I don't think we see him.
I would like to see Teddy Roosevelt back. I like Teddy.
I miss that.
I like Teddy. I miss betting on Teddy. He's better than Bradford.
That was a good year. Didn't we rock the Vikings?
The Vikings were 14-2 against the spread. Yeah. They were awesome. And no one wanted to believe in them all year. Then Tim jumped on their bandwagon and they tanked. Bad news for them. So what are you thinking here? Green Bay, it's -3 for them on the road, so it's +3 for Minnesota. You get the field goal with Minnesota. Jarek looked good Monday night. The defense is pretty good. But I feel like this is probably going to be a shootout, don't you think? Green Bay's getting healthier. They can protect Rodgers a little bit more. This isn't Dallas's defense they're going up against. But every time they touched the ball in that Dallas game, I was like, oh, they're probably going to go down the field and score a touchdown. And they didn't every time, but most of the time they did. So is it a bet on Green Bay's offense or is it a bet on Minnesota's defense? That's what we're looking at here. Tim, you love the Vikings. Are you going with them?
Yeah, I am. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be similar to the last time these two teams played in Minnesota, where it was 17-14, 2017, pretty low-scoring nip-and-tuck game. I think it'll kind of look similar to the Week 1 game with the Seahawks and the Packers, in that neither team can really get much going offensively, and it's more or less who has the ball at the end and maybe who doesn't make the critical turnover. I think this game's probably going to end up pushing. I actually kind of think that Green Bay is going to win this by 3, but you got to make a pick, and in this spot, in a division game between the Vikings team, still has a ton of talent, particularly on the defensive side of the ball against the Packers, who've got Rodgers and some problems. I just think the smart way is just to take the division team getting points at home.
I lean Minnesota here. I do see Green Bay potentially winning a very close field goal game. Tim said it, 17-14, 21-24 sort of football game. I will say from a real-world perspective, I think we could get the hook with the Vikings by the time
it comes around.
Sunday rolls around.
You think that Green Bay is going to be a very popular side
It's just
here?
a blind, you can't blame anybody, and they could very well be right. Just going to the window saying Rodgers over Keenum, I'll lay the 3. Easy.
That sounds very sensible, by the way.
Yeah.
Now that you say it out loud, Rodgers over Keenum. That sounds like a bet I would want to make.
I'll lay the 3. If I lose, I lose, but I'll do it again next time.
I mean, I've been kind of taking home dogs as much as possible this year, and that 1 week it basically worked out across the board. So I'm actually going to take Minnesota as well. I'm not going to bet it unless it goes to 3.5, though. Then I don't feel. I feel great about it.
I think it will go to 3.5, and I bet you books like the Bodog Bovada family could even have like 4.5.
Just because people love betting favorites,
and they do their own. They're in their own little world of shading favorites to the extreme.
Round in Minnesota, coins on Minnesota as well. That's
bad.
That's surprising. I guess one of the big things for me in this game, and Stefan Diggs has been practicing, but if he's healthy, I don't know if Green Bay has an answer for their receivers, because Thielen's really good, Diggs is really good. Tim was talking about tight end U on Twitter last night, despite the fact they have no good tight ends, but Kyle Rudolph apparently is the best. When he's your best guy, I don't think you can call yourself tight end U, Tim.
Yeah, well, Eifert would be that good too.
Oh yeah, Eifert is just terrific, I must say. Out for the year again. Wow, he's just excellent.
Because you brought up tight ends, and I never have any issue with your rankings, but I don't really understand your Hunter Henry ranking this week.
What?
Yours.
Why? Where do I have it?
16 or something.
You want to start Hunter Henry? If he wasn't on your favorite team, would you want to start him?
Yeah, he gets end zone targets every week. Gates is dead. We're playing the Raiders. He's going to have a huge game.
I am not buying into the fact that Gates has gone away yet. Just not.
I don't see Gates in the red zone. I'll show you some clips of Gates off the line of scrimmage.
But I'll be willing to be wrong on Hunter Henry, but the moment you start trusting him, 0 catches for 0 yards.
Now that's over, because the season's like a wash, and all that matters is Hunter Henry.
All right. I would rather play Martellus Bennett in this game. Warren Sharp put a thing about the best way to actually attack. Remember he did this with in the London game. And the best way to attack Baltimore, especially for Jacksonville, would be with the tight end. Then they went to Mercedes Lewis 3 times. He put out sort of a similar thing with Minnesota, that the best way for Green Bay to attack Minnesota in the red zone is through Martellus Bennett. They don't throw to Martellus Bennett in the red zone.
Not enough.
It's really weird. So I actually like his spot here. This is a weird game for me. Like I said, if it gets to 3.5, I probably will go on Minnesota. But in the Super 7... This feels like push, unless Minnesota just comes out and stomps.
But it also feels like in the Super 7, I'm going to take Minnesota because there's an 80-20 split, I feel, on this one.
You feel like people will be piling on?
And it's maybe a chance.
It could be worth a win and a half.
And I'll be honest, Super 7, I don't even know if this is worth 7 because I don't like picking on Rodgers.
Yeah,
last week, I bet on Rodgers or I watch Rodgers. I don't pick on Rodgers with real money.
How was it being betting? Because I bet on Green Bay last week too, just betting on Green Bay and watching Rodgers do his thing. It's oh, this is terrific.
With the number, I felt safe because it's waste all the time and kick the field goal if you want, or score right now and leave me the minute to go beat you.
Yeah.
I wasn't concerned.
Good.
I was a little concerned, but once it happened, it's so yesterday.
Round of Minnesota's here. Oh, Tim, here's a fun one for you. Dolphins at Falcons. 11.5 is the number. For the Falcons coming off the bye.
I'll lead it quick. Falcons win big. 31-10. 28-10.
But there may not be Mohamed Sanu in this game.
I don't care.
Tim, you got a Dolphins take of why they're actually secret good?
I don't know. I mean, I think there's too many points. I think they're going to lose by 10, so I think they'll cover the number. The Falcons coming off a bye at home is a dangerous team to step in front of. I wouldn't bet them.
This Dolphins team's a disaster, man.
Yeah, but they are a disaster, and they have as many wins as they have losses.
Yes, but I'm talking about just the dysfunctionality of everything.
It isn't
everything.
Good.
Well, maybe everyone will be real coked up and fired up to be on the field.
Because you know what you do when
There's a lot of extra coaching going around in that locker room right now.
When you're a rookie head coach, you hire you hire people you trust, like your friends. And this guy's making over $2 million. It's all wrong there.
So
everything.
So what you're saying is he could afford the cocaine, so it's not a problem.
No, I didn't say any of that. I just said it's just a thing. Listen, my team plays where no one cares. They're in South Beach. They deal with their own stuff. And from everything going back to letting Saban walk, since Jimmy Johnson left, to letting Saban walk out the door, to the Ireland disgraceful way he handles things, to the Tunsil pick, to the bullying scandal. This is a culture thing. And I say this knowing my team is so screwed. But there's a culture in Miami that's rotten. And Gase, I thought, might be able to weed it out. He hasn't.
Also, Cutler's been terrible, and Devontae Parker might not play.
And I don't pick on Cutler, because he wanted to be at home. That's the truth.
Yeah, here's $6 million.
He, got dragged out of bed. He left for a reason.
I mean, the last we saw Jay Cutler, he was going to have this broadcasting job, and then he was taking naked pics of himself by the beach. He seemed like he was a happy guy.
Of course he is.
Now he's real sad
He bought an estate. He's a Vandy guy. They bought an estate, his family in Nashville. He's ready to just chill, smoking Jay.
Made all his cash.
And now he's got to, deal. I don't know.
So, Tim, you're taking the points with Miami?
Yeah, it's too many. I think 11.5 is a huge number in the pros between any two teams, particularly between. The Falcons have played good football. I'm not gonna deny that. The Dolphins' defense is still pretty decent, and I think can do enough to throw a stick in the spokes of the Falcons to lose the game 27-17, 34-24, something like that.
Dolphins
34-24. The Dolphins are
something
going to
like
score
that. I think it's a 10-point
points.
game.
How are the Dolphins going to score points?
It can happen. Ajayi's still a good running back who can break one at any time. I think Cutler's still okay. I don't think he's the worst. I don't think he's the worst. It's indoors. It's perfect conditions. It's a really short road trip for the Dolphins. I just think they cover the number.
No bye is going to screw them up for the entire year.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, but they wouldn't have had the bye in this game anyway, so.
No, I get that, but
You're just fast forwarding a bit.
Yeah, just being.
It'll matter when we come December,
but
right?
I don't even think so though. I think it's kind of screwing with them right now. They got thrown all out of sorts week 1, and then they had to go to the West Coast. Then they had to go to New York. Then they had to go to London. And they were back home at Miami. Just eventually, either they're going to right themselves and get it going, or it's just going to screw them all year long.
And I'll say this: I got to give Tim credit where credit's due. That stadium, those renovations, looking at them watching that game last week, they did a piece. It's as beautiful as Tim told us it was.
Yeah, but do you still think it's the coolest name in sports? The Hard Rock Stadium?
No.
It is, and it looks beautiful.
Do people still go to those restaurants? How is that still a thing even? Those Planet Hollywood Hard
Tim thinks
Rocks?
they're pretty cool.
That's still a thing? Who goes to those?
In any city I visit, if I have time, I like to go
No!
Oh, yeah, and I have T-shirts in various Hard Rocks that I've been to.
So did I, when I was 8.
Okay,
Hard Rock Tel Aviv.
Well, if you had Hard Rock Tel Aviv.
I did. I got, I'm just saying, I got one. I could bring it next time.
You should wear it next week on the show, your 8-year-old shirt.
Yeah, more 17-year-old shirt. But I'm just saying, yeah, I get it. That was a thing. I'm shocked that still exists.
Well, you hear what he eats. He eats like a child. The fact that he has enthusiasm for things that you had as a child should not be stunning to you.
No, I guess what's not stunning is he goes to a city. You would go to a place you've never been before, and you would actually try to find a good restaurant.
You know what I do?
And he would go look for that eatery that is Hard Rock.
Yeah, it'd be it'd be like if he went to New York, the first place he'd go is Times Square.
Yeah, exactly.
Where if you go to New York, the last place you want to go to is Times Square.
Yeah, well, you've been, you want to see it, but yeah, I get what you're saying, especially for dinner. Your dinner choice. Exactly.
Oh, I'm going to Bubba Gump's. This is going to be great.
You can laugh all you want. That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, because you're generic tourist. You don't even need a name. You're just generic tourist. The best way to go experience a city is go get dropped off somewhere randomly that you don't know and just start walking around.
Well, again,
that's the Morency approach.
That's how I do it. I go and I explore the city.
Do you know people that, Gabe used to go to USC shows, do shows on the road? And there's a story, they got there, they got to the hotel, people just wanted to get in or after the airport, and Gabe goes to the cab driver, drop these losers off at the hotel, and I want to be dropped off in the worst part of town.
I mean, I don't go that far. I feel like that might work against me at some point. But I wander into bad areas all the time, and it turns out they're not so bad. Like, you're just walking around. I'm not walking around with my luggage and Tim's money belt around my waist.
So I would advise people not to just do that and walk around.
That's because you're a big scaredy.
And yes, I do carry a money belt in big cities. People steal, and I want my stuff on me, close to me, so that no one can take it. It's under your clothes, so no one can see it. I have no problem with that. And yes, oh no, I go to New York for the first time. You want to go see Times Square, the most famous thing in New York?
No.
Statue of Liberty.
Now you're using our words against us.
What a wiener I must be to want to see.
Exactly. That is exactly my point. You're a big wiener.
No, going to Times Square is fine. You've never been in New York. I've been in New York. I'll still go back to Times Square. We're not having dinner in Times. Like, I think people get what I'm saying, and they
put it this way: whenever I'm in New York, I try to stay as far away as possible from Times Square.
Well, that's a bad approach, I think.
I'll throw it out here to the people in the comment section on Twitter. It doesn't matter where you are. Let me know when you go to New York, or if you're from New York, do you ever go to Times Square, or do you try to stay the fuck away from it? Let me know. Thanks.
What if you go see a show?
You go to Broadway. You don't need to go into Times Square.
It's kind of like...
And you want to go see off-Broadway shows.
Yeah, of course.
I saw Alan...
dragged to these...
I saw Alan Rickman do Macbeth just off of Broadway. It was excellent.
I imagine that was... Tim's probably the guy with like the manual on the street corner, and by manual like the in New York, like
or he's the guy who walks up those stupid steps and takes the picture, or listens to the comedy guy. Oh, I would like to go to see that show. Yes, sir.
That's more or less correct. I mean, I'm not much of a traveler to begin with. I think there's something terribly culturally elitist about living to travel. But when I do travel every now and then, I do like to hit all the cultural heights that I've seen on TV and the movies and stuff like that. I mean, it's just that's the sort of stuff that interests me.
I got a wedding in Philly in a couple weeks.
Go to the Campbell Soup Factory.
Me and my wife, we're just like going on, we just want to eat as many cheesesteaks as we can.
You gotta get the good ones.
The nice thing about Philadelphia cheesesteaks, you just go to Subway and you get one just as good.
Oh, man.
That's a fact.
He believes that, too.
I know, that's the problem.
All right, next game. I'm taking Atlanta in this game.
Microwave steak.
Yeah.
Better than hanger steak that some millennial is eating.
You're a millennial.
That's why I'm free to criticize them.
But you don't. Can you please say that you are a millennial? Say, I am a millennial. Please say that.
I'm not going to give you that sound.
No, bite. So you see, you don't even agree with that then. So you shut your mouth.
Well, but isn't he like a border millennial?
No, he's a definite millennial. He's younger than me. I'm a millennial. Yeah. He's younger than me.
If you're born after 1980 and before year 2000, you're a millennial. After 1980 and before 2000.
So you're a millennial.
Pardon me? I suppose, yes, I would fit into that category.
He doesn't identify that way.
Of course, I don't walk around with a food philosophy, but, nevertheless.
That's because your only food philosophy is, hey, I grew up like I had no money and the government gave me food. That's my palate.
No, it's I don't look down my nose.
No, you not only do you not look down your nose at crappy food, you scoff at good food.
The funny thing is, I come off this show as like some urban elitist, which is the complete opposite of everything I feel like I am.
No one comes off as an urban elitist. Tim just comes off as someone with terrible taste.
Well, that's your opinion. I think that for the most part,
as someone who represents the people don't agree with you on this.
They do, actually.
That's why they laugh at your list and call you a moron and don't... Oh, it was like yesterday. Tim already made up his mind on new Oreos.
Well, by definition, they aren't the original ones, so they're not going to be any good.
Yeah, I know they're not good. I'm going to try them and tell everyone how bad they are.
And were they as bad as he thought?
No, he's never going to try them.
No, stop changing things.
Tim's still mad they broke the color barrier in baseball.
Not a terrible thing to say.
Next game, Tim, your Jumbo Jets getting 9.5 at home against the Patriots. Looks like Gronk's going to be back.
Great.
You've already said that the Jets have no chance to win this game in trying to reverse curse them. But then on our text thread, you were getting very excited for the Jets' prospects in this game all of a sudden.
No, what I said is going to happen, and I know it's going to happen, is that the Jets are going to cover, and they're going to give me a false sense of hope that, maybe we can upset them, and then we'll still lose by 7. That's the way these games in Gotham. The Jets play the Patriots tough, year in, year out. It seems. This Patriots team's not a good team. By the numbers, it's the 21st team in football, and I think that's probably generous.
You only like to pick, again, you're only picking and choosing the numbers when talking about DVOA, when it supports your point. When we get to other teams, you're like, oh, no, they're overrated, they got it wrong. So pick a side here. Either you're with it or you're not with it.
I mean, we go back to our discussion 2 weeks ago, whether the Patriots should be the favorites to win the Super Bowl. No, there's literally no case for it now. They're an okay team. The Jets are a worse team than them, but they're both mediocre teams in their own way. But the Patriots have Tom Brady, and that's the deciding factor. I think the Patriots do not cover the number, but I think the Jets still lose.
I'll take the Patriots on the short week.
The long week.
With the long week, for the cover. I'll do that. The Jets coming in on a high. That's got to stop. It's just got to stop. And I'll use this time. I have to take Cleveland.
You're going back and switching to Cleveland? Pick Cleveland every single week.
But just on the philosophy, it's way too many points for a rookie quarterback. It's like I'm just staring at it. It's way too many. I'm not betting it, but that's way too many points.
So the coin is taking the Jets in this game. I can see the case where the Jets do keep this close because the Patriots' defense is so bad. But the two teams that have really kind of given them a lot of problems. I mean, on the Thursday nighter, but again, that's a short week. The defense looked a little bit better, and obviously Gronk wasn't around. But Carolina can put up points, and they put up points. Houston obviously can put up points, and they put up points against New England. Can the Jets put up enough points to cover this number when you know the Patriots are going to put up points? I guess that's really the big question. Tim, you think they can, or do you think that the Jets defense stops Tom Brady?
I don't see any reason why the Jets defense can't stop Tom Brady. Their defense is better than Tampa Bay's, and Tampa Bay only gave up 19 points. Maybe the Jets gave up 24, 27, something like that. And then they score 20 of their own. I mean, the Jets are a sneaky team. Jets have a top 10 special teams. That they can surprise you. I think this game is in New York. The crowd will actually be into this game. We hate the Patriots. We will be delighted to see New England come in there and not play well. I think the Patriots will get off to a slow start. But I do think I think they'll win, but they won't cover. I think in division, it's really, 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 really hard to justify ever laying 9 points on the road in a divisional game. And there is not enough exigent circumstances to make this game any different than the rule. So, Jets.
Is your main man, Postmaster Ted, going to be at the game?
It's not his name, and you know it's not his name.
I'm pretty sure he's a postmaster.
You know that he is a fireman, and that his name is Fireman Ed. I don't know why we go through this all the time when you know that is not his name, and that it really irks me when you get his name wrong like that.
I'm pretty sure that is his name.
You know it is not his name.
Well, you're not the best source of knowing what people's names are. You don't even know your own name.
Yes, I do.
I don't know. Postmaster Ted. I think that's what it is. Is he going to be there, though?
Yeah, he'll be there. Of course. Listen, the Jets are...
I thought he gave up on the Jets.
Todd Bowles right now is coach of the year by anyone's estimation.
You call for him to be fired every single week.
I still don't think he's competent. I think they're winning despite him. But I do think he would be coach of the year because voters don't actually consider whether the head coach is doing a good job. Just is the team overperforming, when no team is overperforming in the league now more than the Jets. So if he could win this game, I mean, I don't want to entertain the thought too much because I know it's not going to happen. But if we
it sounds like you're slowly talking yourself into this.
If we win this game, I don't know how we wouldn't make the playoffs. We'd have to win this game. If we beat the Patriots at home, I mean, I think that basically puts the Pats into a tailspin. They're done. And we have the Bills on a short week. We could basically take the division over by that Thursday nighter against the Bills.
But they're not winning this game. So what's the point?
But this is why I said I want to entertain this. But you know what? It's possible because the Patriots are not good either. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
But I fired up, though. The idea of it makes me excited.
Makes you tingle?
A little bit. Well, the Notre Dame's on bye this week, so it's the only game I have to think about.
Right, next game, San Francisco at Washington. Washington coming off the bye, -10. No Josh Norman for Washington. No Fat Rob for Washington either. Looks like he's going to sit this week. It means we'll get Samaje P. Henson back in the lineup with Chris Thompson. Is San Francisco going to be able to move the ball? Is 10 points too much? They play close games, man. I know they're West coming east for an early game, but I don't know.
Play tough. Redskins off a bye.
But are the Redskins good?
I want to take the 10.
By the numbers, the Redskins are the best team in football.
My initial lean is to the 10 and thinking this game sort of ends right around it, like a 24-14, 27-17. I'll blindly take the 10 because I don't know that Washington should be favored by that many.
You'll take San Francisco?
Yeah.
Tim, do you have a feel for this?
Yeah, we like the Niners +10, and we're going to tease them up to 17.
Oh, I feel like that's where it could go wrong right there.
And we also missed. I teased the Lions up to +11.5, so that was the fourth team as well in this 5-team teaser.
Heads. Looks like the coin will take San Francisco as well. I'm going to go with them too. I like the way.
It's 3 of them so far for us.
Round of, yeah, we have a round of.
Well,
Baltimore.
the Niners are just scouting their quarterback next season, so they're going to try to make it look like that they're good and that Kirk Cousins needs to come home.
I will say that if I was going to be 0-5. I'd much rather be the San Fran 0-5 than the Cleveland 0-5.
Oh, absolutely.
There's 0-5 being done right, and and then there's hitting on 20 at blackjack.
You don't hit on 20. You double on 20.
Oh, sorry.
No, you split 20.
I'm just saying, they're not...
I mean, Tim, you got that completely wrong. Out of the most logical things you could do, splitting 20 out of the 3 scenarios we gave you would be by far the most logical one. That is the opposite of what we're trying to get at here.
Yeah, I'll take the 10, and absolutely, the coach. It looks you're still confident in the coach. I got no issues with what San Fran is doing. They're doing it right, I guess.
I'm really curious to see how the loss of Josh Norman impacts this entire defense. Because their defense has been really good so far. And I don't know if that's because their front seven is just stout and they're getting to the quarterback, or are they getting pressure on the quarterback because the secondary has been giving them so much time by locking down receivers that the quarterback has to throw on the ball. There's no throwing windows. Like, one ripple effect from a really good player can have a tremendous impact on a defense in ways that you don't necessarily expect. So I think that San Fran showed last week. I know Indy's defense is a lot worse than Washington's, with or without Norman, but they showed their backdoor potential last week. I know they didn't cover, but they were down by a bunch and then stormed back with just garbage time points with your main man, Kittle Me Timbers, Tim. So round to San Francisco sounds terrifying, by the way.
It does.
I will say this is not my super lock, but it almost became it.
Really? Have we got to your super lock yet?
No, we have not.
Okay, so we're at the midway point of the games right now. That means it's time for a Cust Corner Mini.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner,
Again, I think we could come up with various names for this.
No, that one's already locked in. You took a Twitter poll about it, and people were all in on Cust Corner.
Well, that wasn't the name I actually used in the poll. But...
So here's what we're going to do. Generally, Tim gives his rankings of lists, but that's not what we're going to do today. I'm going to dictate the terms of Cust Corner. So
I knew where this was going.
I want to almost do like the Wayne's World, like diddly, 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 and go back into time here.
You want to talk about Black Tuesday?
Yes, let's talk about Black Tuesday. So, Black Tuesday, this past Tuesday, starts out really well for Tim. Tim, I get a text from him while I'm doing the show. He's out golfing with one of my friends. Guess what happens to Tim at the golf course?
I heard.
Gets recognized at the golf course. Tim, can you walk us through that?
I'm out on the range, hitting some shots, shaping some pretty good ones. I'm playing pretty decently. It's October, so you know that you're not going to play your best golf in October. But I'm hitting some good shots, and then we're just getting ready to tee off, and our friend said, the club pro recognized your name on the sheet and knew that he knew you and wanted to meet me, and I was a huge fan of the show. So I'm never one to deny the public, so I was happy to shake his hand and say thank you for his kind words and appreciate that he came to to watch the show, and so that was great.
So that's Pat DeCoste, the golf pro
Yes.
at Oakfield. He did tweet at me afterward, just watching Tim Anderson 87 hit a high slice off number 1 into the woods. Can't believe you let that guy talk about golf with a swing like that.
From his vantage, he thought I sliced it into the woods. I was on the edge, and I made par on the hole. It's a long par 5, and I made par on the hole.
No one believes your lies. You're like Teddy from Memento, pal.
I had a great front. I had a terrible back. I've had that sort of going in the last few rounds I played.
So Tuesday was off to a banger start.
Great start. Great start for Tim. Getting recognized. He's a celebrity. And whenever things happen to Tim that kind of go his way, it really pumps him up full of confidence. And we know it's like the Icarus factor. Like sometimes he just gets too close to the sun. But he wasn't quite there yet. He wasn't too close at this point. So Tim, please tell us what happened to you that night.
So I'm at home watching the baseball game, and I'm starting to tweet. And then all of a sudden, I notice that there's something weird on my phone. The place where the character countdown is replaced by like this wheel. And it's sort of like a wheel that tells you how much usage you have left. And I'd never seen that. So initially I thought, wow, that must be like they've converted their character count to this metric for some weird thing. And I began to text or whatever, and I was getting close to the usual length that a tweet should be. Because when you tweet as much as professional Twitter experts like me do, you begin to realize, like you sort of know how long a tweet can be. And I was over it by a little bit, and then I realized that the little wheel was just halfway through. And then so I just started like mashing my keyboard over and over again to see how many characters I could get in. And I realized, oh my God, I have been one of the people gifted 280 characters. This is amazing. So then I deleted the original tweet that I had, and I wrote a thank you tweet to Twitter for them giving me this new gift. I was so happy, and I wrote it long enough that it'd be well over 140, then tweeted at a few people so they could see how long my tweet was, and tweeted it. And I was fired up. And I tweeted afterwards that, yes, I've got 280 now. And it was received with moderate approval. Some people jokingly saying, oh, God, I've never seen true evil before this, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it was all in good fun. And I was getting ready. My next tweet, I was getting ready, in honor of my new gift of 280 characters, I was going to give the people a full list of a few different things. And then, all of a sudden, the wheel was gone. I was fired up. I was so excited. I was hyped. Wasn't even paying attention to the game. Then the character count was back. It was 140. And I don't know what happened. It was gone. I had it, and I can't. And people know that I had it because there's a tweet out there that I tweeted. That's well over 140 characters. I'm making this up. And I was fired up, and then next thing you know, it's gone. I made one little sarcastic joke at somebody, but then not having 280 characters. And the next thing I know, I'm back to 140, and it's devastating. And so I deleted the Twitter app and then downloaded the Twitter app again just to see if it glitch. There wasn't. I kept opening and closing it. Oh, and then I went on the Twitter search function to see if other people had lost their 280, and I couldn't find anything. And then eventually I had to accept that it's gone, that it was obviously either a glitch or a mistake on their part, and I lost it. And the thing is, it was the greatest 5 minutes ever. I had so many plans for these characters. I was gonna have so many capacity to do lists and more commentary and various thoughts on things. And I was so excited to have had this gift. I've wanted it for weeks. I've been asking for it, and I had it, and then they took it away from me. And so now Pat says that he's going to email Twitter for me, try to get this thing sorted out. So I hope he does. But in the meantime, I've been trying to get a hold of them to no regard, and I was apoplectic.
Was he being monitored? Like, you're given 280, and then they watch you for 5 minutes?
He was given the power. So in the time when he got the 280 to the time that it was taken away from him, justly, by the way, I thought they should have went more extreme with him, just only give him like 10 characters. That would have been way better. Just really restrict it with the nonsense he can put out there.
He really answered every question I had in that explanation.
So the first thing someone tweets, I'm like, oh God, like I was just like, good Lord, I can't believe someone gave you 200. We don't need to see more of you. But someone else tweeted him, our friend Eric, and like the first tweet that he gave after like the I have 280 is, like he mentioned, just like tough words coming from someone without 280 characters.
No.
Also, last night on Twitter, he gave someone the old, "Oh, you only have 100 followers. Nice to see that people care what you think."
Well, yeah. Well, this it was between that. Like, I think he called me a parody, and I was going to tweet back that the only thing that's a parody is his account of a popular one. But anyway,
but he only claimed to be popular.
I had to take a shot at his character in some way. But no, what
you couldn't just let it go.
No, I'm not going to let that. Listen, I don't punch, but I'm a counterpuncher. So Eric tweets at me. I had tweeted in my long tweet saying thank you that part of the thing I was going to use was to have some funnier observations. And Eric's response was funnier. Okay, yeah, that's new in a very sarcastic way. And so I then quote tweeted and said, "That's a pretty funny response from someone with such a limited character count," which is a really funny answer.
I don't know how funny that is. It just makes you seem like an asshole.
So it's actually really funny, and I know funny. And I'm like TBS, I know funny. And then the next thing I know, my characters are gone.
This kind of like feels like winning the championship, jumping on your buddies, and then turning around and seeing like the play is under review.
This is this is like La La Land winning Best Picture, and then it didn't win. Two things. So let's find out the common denominator here. La La Land, hugely cursed. This happens to it. Yourself, you start bragging, you start big upping yourself, and what happens? It gets taken away from you. You cursed yourself.
No.
And since the curse has been running wild, your World Series pick can't lose Cleveland. Oh, they're done. Sorry to tell you. Who are you gonna curse next?
Don't.
I kind of think now the Yankees are gonna win.
Oh, good.
But back on this character thing. That wasn't even the end of the night.
Oh, I know. The night got better.
Well,
I could argue the night got better.
Well, Geoff, you chime in of your recollection of the rest of the night.
Well, like his poem was magnificent. Like my wife loved your you're a rock star at my house. Just know that, Tim. Okay, you're a rock star in my house. If my daughter was old enough to comprehend, she'd probably be a fan of yours too. So just his entire feed that night, debating like loving and having lost is better than to have never loved at all.
He was making Plato jokes.
Yeah,
about unpublished Plato works. That you're a man of the people, Tim, if there's nothing else.
Oh, and then he's like, my favorite tweet he put out was, "This truly signifies I am back with my people. Like, having 140 is where I belong, being with my people." Might have been the favorite thing he tweeted. But then we find out later in the night that Chili's, Tim's revered Chili's, is closing all their restaurants in not just Alberta, but Western Canada.
Yeah, outside of the couple in the airport, now, all the restaurants they're going.
So what has happened? So Tim, you lived in Calgary until how many months ago?
3 months ago.
So you leave, and you were their only customer, and now they're out of business. How often were you going to Chili's?
At least once a week.
I don't know. It sounds like you're going there 30 times a day, keeping them in business.
He created the profit margin. Now, here's my point. Tim loves Chili's, always props up Chili's. It's all about Chili's. But Tim's also a free market guy. When it comes to the best ice cream in the world, like at Dairy Queen, Subway makes the best sandwiches. It's all about, look, they're on the corners. They do well. People like them. The free market proves that Subway's the greatest sandwich.
You're going to hurt me, Geoff.
Which we all agree with. So, based on everything he lives by, Subway, Chili's is crap. Like, he can't have it both ways. He can't. Can't have it both ways, Tim.
I know. Well, I mean, Russo says that the people are never wrong, but sometimes they need to be led towards the truth. I mean, I guess that's one of these situations. Listen, you've got me boxed into a corner here, and I can't punch out, and it's just very depressing. Because, like, Chili's is the best. And, like, everything they make is awesome. And you people who couldn't be bothered, you were too, and this is all you millennials.
No, it's you.
Yeah, it's you. It's your fault.
You're walking the mall. You're holding doors for old ladies. Hand them a flyer. Have you been to Chili's? Like, you could have done more.
Anytime I went to Chili's, it was almost never millennial. It was almost always middle-aged and older people who were there. Like, it's you millennials who would rather eat your beef cheek and you have to eat, nose to tail food, or, you have to go to your farmers markets for your vegetables, and you've got to eat everything in your sous vide machine, who threw Chili's out of business. I hope you're happy with yourself.
I am. I'm super happy.
That your selfishness drove a good, hard-working business out of business, so that the normal people like me, who used to go there and have good quality meals at fair prices, now have had the rug ripped from underneath of us. And I had lost those characters just previously, and it's all too much. I don't understand what's going on. I need a deliverance from this day. Like, I have, and I'm not lying, I have clicked on that tweet, to write the tweet 500 times this Tuesday night, just to see if I got my 280 back. Because it's true. They say it's better to have loved and lost than have never loved at all. That's not true of having 280 characters.
My cheeks
That's
hurt.
Close to true. I wish I had never experienced the majesty of being able to express myself with more fullness and with more propensity, instead of just having...
Do you wish you never ate Chili's? Like, do you wish Chili's never came into your life so you wouldn't know what you've lost?
No, because it's not really gone. It's just pared back. They're still going to be in the airports, and they're still Chili's throughout the state. So it's not gone forever. But, I know that Twitter is listening to this show, so I'm asking you, Twitter, please respond to my emails and give me back my characters. I'm not asking now for characters. I'm asking for my characters back. I'm not one of these cyber mooches who demand something for nothing. I am now somebody who was given this and has taken away. Machiavelli says in The Prince that if you conquer free cities, you have to burn them to the ground, because people who were once free will never want to submit to the rule of another. I had these characters. I felt them. They were mine. I felt that liberty, and I had it stolen away from me by the internet machine, and I want it back, and you know what? I'll even settle for an explanation. If Twitter can just tell me, listen, it was a glitch. We didn't mean to give it to you. We apologize. Great. I can live with that. I mean, I'll be irritated, but I have closure on the issue. What I can't stand is that I had it, and it was taken away, and I don't know why it was taken away, and I just want it, and then the Chili's are gone, and it's all just too much.
Let me ask you this, though, Tim. Serious question. Do you believe in the curse now?
No, absolutely not. This is just me being
that's
tested.
the wrong answer. You're lying.
No,
You're lying. More lies from you. More lies.
I don't believe
Why so many lies?
No, I feel like I'm Job being tested by the devil himself to recant and say he doesn't believe. I do not believe in a curse. There is no curse. It's just an annoying set of coincidences piled on top of the other.
I thought I thought he was going to say he was like Joe because he's walking around in $5,000 pants.
I'm not as sophisticated as Tim, but his Job reference has me going there too.
It's an illusion. Oh, I've made a terrible
And you call me an elitist, and you say Job, and I just revert to Arrested Development instead of your passages.
Well, that's elitist TV because it's not Young Shelton or The Good Doctor.
Stop.
Those shows look terrible.
Yeah, but you'll love them. They're on network TV.
No, I mean, I do like network TV.
No, I've got a winner. No, there's a show on network that... No, I don't want to say anything.
What's your show?
Well, I watch network shows with my wife. So there's shows that, me and her, would both stand.
Blacklist?
I even gave up on that one. The one with Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, Designated Survivor.
That one we watched?
Survivor. Yeah, pretty good. To be fair, it's terrible, but it's a good type of terrible.
For network TV, it'll do it. I'm a Kiefer guy.
Do you watch This Is Us as well?
No, I don't watch This Is Us.
So I do.
I watch TV to...
Does it make you cry, Tim?
No, but it's so depressing.
That show seems too real. Who wants to watch TV to be, in, bad, real situations?
It can't be the last thing I watch before I go to bed. It's just... I don't know why I continue to watch it, because it's just making other people's problems my problems, in a sense, by watching it. But I've been watching it since the start, and I'm kind of plot committed now. Once you put in 20 hours of viewing into a show, you might as well go all the way through. So like that movie Cinderella Man. I hated that movie. But once you start watching some of it, you might as well just keep plowing on through.
What a bizarre reference.
From 20 hours to like the hour 20 movie.
From a movie that came out like 15 years ago.
Could have just walked out at any time. I don't know.
It felt like 20 hours.
Oh, okay. I see. My wife and I have to do because we do have to watch the shows together.
Yeah.
I get very. Whoa, I had to sneeze. I get very few shows that I actually get to watch together. She's just on her phone the entire time, but she makes me watch her shows. So it's either HGTV, we're watching house flipping shows or tiny home shows or shows about tiny people on TLC.
Like cooking.
Some like MasterChef stuff or Top Chef or whatever the hell it is that she's watching. And then we have to watch like Elementary. That's the one that I've like narrowed it down to. It's the one that I hate the least out of all of them. So that's somewhat acceptable. And then I have to watch Samantha Bee with her every week as well. She really gets real fired up for that.
Oh, boy.
We watched Tom Selleck's Blue Bloods.
Oh! Isn't that on like Friday nights?
That's the type of people we don't watch it on Friday nights.
Oh, okay.
But yes, when you watch a show that airs Friday at 10, it's not aimed at fun people.
All right, let's get back to the games. The late slate, Tim, the biggest game of the week. Saxonville at home, -2.5 against your LA Rams.
The Jacksonville's so unlucky this game's at 4 o'clock.
I know. Why can't it be at 1?
If it was at 1, this would be a heavy piece, Jags.
Tim, where are you leaning? I bet you it's the Rams.
I want my characters back.
You're not getting them back.
I know. I'm just depressed about it now.
Well, tell us about the Rams. You love the Rams.
Listen, the Jaguars are a fraud. We all know they're frauds. They can't play well 2 weeks in a row. I don't see it happening. Or 3 weeks in a row, I guess, because they won last week. I mean, they scored 2 interception touchdowns. Both of them came on deflections. That's just fluke. Listen, the Rams just about they had the Seahawks beaten if Cooper Kupp can hold on to the ball.
Yeah, you know what? I'm tired of you giving Cooper Kupp shit about this. It was a very poorly thrown ball by Goff.
Sure.
He could have thrown it to the wide open guy in the end zone instead of having him throw it a million miles per hour where Cooper Kupp had to dive for it.
So if you can touch it, you can catch it. And it was in his hands. So he should have had it.
I mean, I once threw keys at you and you couldn't catch it. And that was an underhand toss.
Oh, please. I am not George Michael.
Yeah, you basically are. You just backed away into it.
I think that the number is short, which I think is very interesting. I thought Jacksonville would get more public love than this.
Why? More people are like you. People hate Jacksonville.
Well, we just don't believe in them because, again, it's Blake Bortles.
Oh, Tim, by your precious DVOA, where does Jacksonville rank?
They're the third team in the NFL according to DVOA.
So you believe DVOA for everything except for when you disagree with it.
But the Rams are 7th, so it's a pretty close game in that sense.
Yeah, but they're going on the road to the East Coast.
Yeah, that's true. But, I still think that the Rams have more talent and that their quarterback won't kill them. Bortles can ruin any game he's in.
Have you seen that there's rumors this week that the Jags and Tom Coughlin wants like Eli or Rivers?
Yeah, I don't believe. I would.
How are they going to get him?
It'd have to be compensation.
Well, not for Eli. I think they would. The Giants would give Eli away for nothing to get rid of the cap room, and I think the Chargers would probably give away Rivers for next to nothing.
Fair compensation.
What's fair compensation?
I got not a clue.
It's not a first-round pick.
I thought it was a first-round pick, I'd have come out and said, "Give me a first-round pick." I just said fair compensation.
Okay.
Here we are.
They'll pay.
I actually lean the Rams right now. I'm hoping by Sunday can be the full 3, because people just kind of remember, I don't know, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville beating their eliminator team a week ago, and maybe they all want to bet them.
I just don't think that people have that sort of juice for Jacksonville. They see Bortles. They see Bortles through.
But when Jacksonville
in the second half,
Jacksonville wins only wins wicked cool awesome.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
It's the only way they win. They're in a slugfest versus the Jets, and they let the Jets beat them. Or not slugfest, but like a tight game. Wicked cool awesome. They'll win big, or they'll be in a tight one. And I don't know. I kind of right now see the Rams winning by a point.
This is a tough one for me because I think if Pittsburgh had stuck to the game plan and given the ball to Le'Veon Bell 35 times, they probably would have won that game.
Oh, throwing at Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, and I don't think the Rams are going to be that stupid, to tell you the truth. I think they're going to give Todd Gurley the ball 35 times, and that could really work out for them. The problem is the Rams' run defense sucks too. If they Jacksonville's not afraid to give Fournette or Chris Ivory or whoever the ball, just don't let Blake Bortles throw. That could be the path to victory here.
And
force the Rams into doing something stupid. Look, we saw how Goff looked last week. It wasn't incompetent. He was fine, but he turned the ball over a bunch. If he drops back, if the Jags get out to an early lead here, and the Rams are forced to pass, they're fucked.
Roethlisberger made mistakes, yes, but you don't have to make mistakes to have Jacksonville bite you in the ass on defense. Like Ramsey can just take the ball,
and then you can throw it AJ Boye. That's not a high proposition play either. No. Running the ball is the way to beat them, or throwing it right over the middle of the field. Maybe Eleanor Higbee has a good game here. I don't know. Maybe it's a good Cooper Kupp game.
I like this game. These are two new coaches this year that really have brought awesome life to teams with a lot of fresh, young talent. So I like this game. It's intriguing. The fact that it's at 4 o'clock, though, gives the Rams a real shot in the arm. 5 o'clock, sorry.
The 5 o'clock games. The big thing here is this is the same Detroit line as last week. Why aren't the Jags getting the full 3?
That's a good question. I fell for it last week. I didn't really make that correlation. You bring it up now. That's fair. I'm hoping by the time right now I lean Rams, and I would want it to get to 3 by Sunday.
I'm going to take Jacksonville. Tim, I really hope this isn't a part of your free money tease, because even if you tease the Rams up to, if you tease the Rams up to 9.5, like they either win this game or they lose by 35 or something like that.
It's not a part of it.
So this is going to be tough. The 2.5, though, is very intriguing from a Jacksonville. Just if they win, they probably cover this number, don't they? Like, I don't see them winning by 1.
Oh, I will agree with you. I think Jeff's point was right. The Jags win when they absolutely keel-haul teams, and when if they're in a close game, they can't win. Because Blake Bortles cannot be counted upon in a close game. The Jaguars' path to victory week in, week out has to be, how can we win this game with Bortles throwing 15 or fewer passes? Because if he has to throw more than that, we are pooped.
Well, you're not. You're doing great.
Yeah, well, then they're going to lose. That's why I just don't think long-term this season they're a viable team. Because they'll be in more close games than not, and I don't see Blake Bortles ever winning one of those.
If they got one of these quarterbacks, whether it be Eli, whether it be Rivers.
There's probably other guys, too, like
Carson Palmer would be most sensical to me.
He's dead.
Palmer would be...
Eli would be the easiest to get, right?
No, Eli looks... Maybe.
Like Coughlin drafted, wouldn't that just be so?
Well, let's say
if they actually wanted to do that.
Yeah, no.
Let me ask you this: what if you're Jacksonville? You're like, we have this 3rd round pick, we can burn it. Hey, the Bills, give us Tyrod.
The Bills might take it.
I think that the Bills will take anything for anyone.
The Bills seem to want to go in it. I'll tell you this right now: Sean McDermott, that's the name, right? In Buffalo, they do not want to win 9-10 games and have. Tyrod show real signs. They do not want to be put in that position.
Every single week they have to come out and say that Tyrod's still their starter.
They want to move on from him. There's no doubt in my mind. So that is a fair thought.
I think he would be on the table.
The Bills are a team that should make the playoffs this year the way they're playing.
They could, yeah.
Burn that stadium to the ground.
No, I agree. But I'm just telling you, McDermott does not want, I don't think they want to be in a position where Tyrod does so well where they feel they have to extend him, because I think they're confident in that he is not their long-term quarterback. That's all I'm going with.
I like Tyrod, but I would agree with that. He's probably not their long-term quarterback, but I think short-term for Jacksonville, he could be really good.
I agree.
You know who else could be on the table that people aren't thinking about?
Kaepernick?
Well, no, everyone talks about Kaepernick. I think Kaepernick would be an improvement for them. Yeah. Whether Kaepernick's good or not, I don't have a fucking clue, but he has to be better than Blake Bortles.
Yeah, I said this from the jump.
But Andy Dalton.
And they just go with McCarron?
Yeah.
Because it seems like they might be more willing
Well, they had a chance to trade McCarron.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
In the preseason, and they didn't do it. They wanted to hold on to him. So it's clear they're not invested in Andy Dalton. Why not try to get something for him?
People seem to acknowledge McCarron might be the best backup in football, which is a great spot to be, and doesn't really...
It's like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, it's like the Rob Johnson. The match, it can get you somewhere.
Yeah, no one's better than your backup quarterback.
There's nothing like playing Week 17.
Christian Hackenberg's not even the backup quarterback. He's a healthy scratch every game. Cust.
I agreed with all this. If the Patriots should owe Tom Brady one more chance at a Super Bowl, and therefore should trade Garoppolo for a star on defense, and they'd get somebody.
No, they would have done that already.
Yeah, but they also wouldn't get a star on defense. They'd get picks.
So they're not going to do. I think they think they could name their price for Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, you can't. It would have to be picks only, because any team trying to actively trade for Jimmy Garoppolo would A, not be any good, or B, they couldn't give up a piece of their defense. That'd be the whole point. If you had the Jags and you traded Jimmy Garoppolo to the Jags right now, and they had to give up pieces of their defense, well, then that kind of takes away from their bottom line of them being good.
I think that you can take any single player off that defense, and you get the chance to replace Blake Bortles with a competent quarterback, you're coming out ahead of the wash. I really believe that.
Would you trade Jalen Ramsey for Jimmy Garoppolo?
No,
I would not.
Not even no.
If Garoppolo, actually, you know what? I think you have no choice in the matter because quarterbacks are so rare, and if Garoppolo looks a tenth as good as he looked last year, the quarterback position is just so much more important. That yes, I think you do it.
We're all screwed if the Patriots get Jalen Ramsey.
Sure. But the Jaguars can't think that way. If they can get a quarterback that could be theirs for 15 years, Ramsey can make the Pro Bowl every year, and the Jags still win the trade comfortably.
Yeah, but
that's how important.
But we know one is an All-Pro, and we know the other one could be.
Just saying.
One is an All-Pro. One is All-Pro with after this year we'll have 2 years in a team option on a rookie contract, while the other guy needs to get paid before you even know how good he is.
Fine. Okay. You disagree, and you're welcome to disagree. And maybe I'm wrong. I just think that you need a quarterback so desperately, and if he's anything that's partially good, I think the Patriots could name their price and get him from any like.
I don't think Jacksonville's looking to pay the piper. Like, I don't think that's even.
I think they've constructed a game plan to hide Blake Bortles, and they're good with it.
That's what they are doing, but that is not a winning game plan in the long term.
But they're not trying to win the Super Bowl this year either.
All they need to do is win that division at 7-1, and then I'm dancing. It's great. Great news. Great news for the Jags.
They got the Jags.
They could win this division. I got the Jags this week. Yeah, why not? If they're going to get to the over, they're going to have to win this game.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay at Arizona. Arizona is getting a 1.5 at home, plus 1.5. Tampa Bay has been not great on the road. They haven't been great in general. The big thing for me here, and the big reason that I went with Philly against Arizona last week, was that Philly has a pass rush, Arizona has no offensive line, and you move Carson Palmer 1 iota off his spot, and he can't make a throw. It's unbelievable how bad he is at this point when there's any sort of pressure generated on him. Tampa Bay has the worst pass rush in the league right now. They have 1 sack, I think, or 3 sacks. Like, they're not getting to the quarterback. Maybe Gerald McCoy can turn it on. That defense is banged up, though. I like Arizona here.
This could be my super luck on the other side.
As much as I hate Arizona, I don't think Tampa's that good.
I don't think people have any iota how bad Arizona is.
I agree that they're bad, but I think Tampa might be bad too.
Tampa, a short week, had to play the Patriots. Jameis, let's just say he needs a full week to maybe be properly suited to play football games, and now he's got the extended time to prepare for this one. They would have beaten the Patriots if not for a kicker. This is super luck consideration for me. Arizona doesn't do anything right.
They just traded for Adrian Peterson, so all their problems are solved. I think we lost him.
I am here.
Oh, who are you picking?
So this is strong super law contention for me with the Cardinals. I think that, other than that first game Tampa played where they sort of threw us off the scent, blowing out Chicago, this Tampa team has looked deeply, deeply problematic. Jameis looks worse this year than he looked last year. That's a problem. He can't seem to hit Deshaun Jackson when he's wide open constantly. He's trying to get Mike Evans killed. They went away from Doug Martin against the Patriots, which made no sense because they just kept giving Doug Martin the ball. They would have won the game. They have a place kicker they have absolutely no trust in. And as soon as the head coach starts doubting and questioning whether his kicker can make a kick, you have to cut the kicker immediately and get a kicker you can trust because that will just change your game plan in a way that isn't appropriate at the pro level. And you know what? The Cardinals are a good home team. And this is a long trip for Tampa. And I think I don't have any faith for Adrian Peterson, except for this week. I think maybe the first week coming off a bye with New Orleans last week, that maybe if he's got anything in the tank, it'll all be in this game. And I think the world thinks Arizona is done, and they're getting points at home, which has been a while since the Cardinals have gotten points at home against a non-divisional team.
It's been a while.
I just think the Cardinals have to be the play here, and that's what I like. And we'll be teasing them up to 8.5. As the last part of the 5-team tease.
Well, I don't like that, not they're cursed. But 45 is the total in this game. I would go over that total. It was 44 earlier on. It was 44 yesterday. It's 45 now. It's just this team with 2 bad defenses. Tampa's just banged up on the defensive side of the ball. He can't stop anyone.
I don't like anything about Arizona. There's a few things I really like about Tampa still.
The thing with Arizona, like I said, the main point that I'm going off, sort of like Lane Johnson not playing for Philly, why I'm not going with Philly, the fact that Tampa can't get to the quarterback and can't generate pressure. Just when Carson Palmer has time, he's good. When he has no time, he's awful. Like it's the two sides of the coin. The coin likes Tampa Bay in this game, for reference, but I'm going to go with Arizona as home dogs here. The Chargers at Oakland. No guarantees Derek Carr plays in this game, and this game is off the board from the general betting market, but in the Vegas Super Contest, it is -3.5 for Oakland right now. So, not knowing, I'm just going to blindly take the Chargers in this game because they play field goal games, and if E.J. Manuel ends up starting for Oakland, I really like the Chargers here.
If E.J. Manuel starts this game, I guarantee the Chargers win.
Okay.
I'll guarantee the Chargers win if E.J. Manuel starts this game. If they want to start Derek Carr against the best pass rush in football.
Third best pass rush.
The best pass rush in football. That's all the power to them. He'll end the game hurt.
That would be my whole thing. Like, you have Derek Carr. Clearly, he wants to get back on the field. Who knows how he's actually feeling? He's
moving sideways, and he's going to go to the ground.
That's the thing.
Bosa is awoke now, and Melvin Ingram is a machine. And here's the other part about it. They don't even need each other's help to get to the quarterback. This line, though, if Derek Carr plays, if Derek Carr plays, I'm hoping I get a touchdown.
I don't think you will. I mean, Oakland's got a far more important game next Thursday night against the Chiefs.
Another reason to like the Chargers. Thank you for reminding me quickly,
Tim.
Tim, quickly, Arizona's in London next week. That was a big part of why Tampa really stuck out to me as well.
Who else does that?
Crap.
The Los Angeles Rams are their opponent.
Oh, go Jags!
I guess that makes sense as to why the Rams, I guess the league throws them a bone by sending them
on
as
the
east
4
as
o'clock,
possible. As east as possible.
And the later game, that does make more sense. I mean, just if Carr's banged up or Manuel plays, like the +3.5 for the Chargers is pretty good.
Yeah.
What is the line Derek Carr is playing the game? What do you expect the line to be? Because I want to answer that question.
-4? He's banged up.
3.5.
What's that?
3.5. Maybe it gets bet down to 3 when everybody jumps on the Chargers.
Hold on a second. If Derek Carr plays, the line drops?
Yeah, the Derek Carr plays. I think it stays at 3.5.
Well, this line is by all accounts, Derek Carr is playing.
And this is the line of Derek Carr playing?
I mean, it's off the board.
To me,
this is what the Super Contest set it up
Derek
at.
Carr line. If this is E.J. Manuel, I think it's the Bolts by a point.
Oh!
Maybe a pick 'em.
I want a touchdown if Carr's playing, and I wanted to hammer it.
You're not getting a touchdown. This is as high as you're going to get.
This is the Carr line.
But why play Derek Carr? This guy's your franchise.
Because it's a divisional game.
I get that it's a divisional game.
Hold on.
But what's better, sitting Derek Carr for one game or the potential for him to be knocked out for the rest of the year? You saw how that worked out for them.
I should know this. The Chargers haven't won. They could be hitting double digits in straight division games.
Losses?
Yeah.
That's not good news. Remember when they beat the Raiders like 18 straight times?
And I remember the first. Zanian threw a pass.
To Gates? Was it
that
one?
I was in Montreal. It was in Oakland. It was awesome. And that's when the Raiders were coming down from having been really good. Good times.
So you're taking the Chargers?
Well, yeah, the simple rule of the 3-point Chargers rule.
Worked out for us last week.
Plus.
On the road. Tim, who are you taking?
Yeah, I got to take the Chargers. Because I don't think Derek Carr is going to play.
All of us?
Yep.
Because I don't think Derek Carr is going to play. I think you're getting value with the 3.5, and you got to take the Bolts.
So if Derek Carr doesn't play, then this is like you're telling me the Chargers are the big pick 7 value ticket.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And you assume this line is what it will like. Derek Carr playing makes it max 4.5 then or something.
I would say this is the -4 is probably the best it would go to, but I don't even think if Carr comes back, I think this is the Derek Carr line because this game is it's off the board in terms of actual betting lines. So when we get it in the Super 7 or in the Super Contest, it's -3.5. I think that you blindly take the Chargers in Super 7 and just hope E.J. Manuel plays. Like, you're not going to know on Saturday, right?
You don't need to condone me blindly taking the Chargers, but you're speaking to other people. I like it.
Pittsburgh at Kansas City. Kansas City is a 4.5-point favorite at home. Everything about this line wants me to take Pittsburgh. Everything about it.
It's like,
why isn't Kansas City like -8?
Right. Sunday night, Ben's like, I suck. Maybe I should quit.
I might lock in Pittsburgh. It's not Sunday. Sunday afternoon.
No, I mean last Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Like it's this whole oh my God, the Steelers. No, this is a game I feel the Steelers get woke for. And I feel bad because I've kind of been silly on the show. I feel a couple weeks in a row now, Pat, where I'm in a position where I'm saying I'm against the Chiefs on the show.
And then you end up betting them?
To bet them. Like, come last Sunday night, sitting there Sunday afternoon, it was like, no. Chiefs will show their class. The Chiefs at home, I don't know, it took Washington the most muck thing of all time to blow a cover. I think Pittsburgh just wakes up. And I think this is going to be a really close game.
I see it the other way. I don't know if Pittsburgh necessarily wakes up, but their defense has been legit good for, like, dating back to last year.
They were winning the game until Ben decided to throw to the other color.
And right now, almost like how Tampa Bay has no pass rush, the pass rush for Pittsburgh has been really good. And who's decimated on the offensive line? The Kansas City Chiefs are. Travis Kelce might not play in this game. Albert Wilson now needs to take on a bigger role because Chris Conley's gone. Yes, with the way Kansas City's been playing, maybe Kareem Hunt just gashes them, and that's going to be the entire thing. But I think this game is like an 18-14 game. I'm considering using Pittsburgh as my super lock.
Martavius Bryant wake-up game, too.
Or Juju Irwin-Shyster.
I'm using both of them. We're in a Canadian experts league.
We're playing each other this week.
Both 4-1.
Yeah, but I got Breeze back. It's a 2-quarterback league. I have Brady and Breeze.
I've got
I've
got Big Ben, which I thought would be good. Big Ben and Wentz. So
I think I would take Brady and Breeze in that situation.
Yeah. Oh well, you picked late, so you were able to take the two QBs.
Yeah, and people passed on quarterbacks. I was like, screw it, I'll go with the best two. Someone took Rodgers first.
I had fourth pick, took Antonio Brown, so I wasn't really in the position to do what you did.
So you're taking Pittsburgh as well?
Yeah, I think it's a spot for them.
Tim.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win by 3. So the Steelers are 4.5.
We got like 5 games where we're literally sweeping.
That usually doesn't happen once in a week.
We get like one a week. We get like about one.
I will say though, I love the over in this game. I don't think anybody can stop the way the Chiefs offense is playing. I don't know how you scheme a defense to stop them. Nobody has been able to.
I'm with Tim. I watch this team and I love the play calls they get to make.
They're the most creative and innovative.
I dream. Everyone knows where my heart and soul is. But a part of me sometimes lies at bed at night excited about the day where I will have a team who has a quarterback who could like do a zone read type handoff.
So you hate Phillip now?
No.
You'd rather have Alex Smith?
No, I'm just saying the game... The 6'4", 5" statue seems to be like extinct. It seems like, and maybe I'm wrong, like is Andrew Luck like the last of the dinosaurs?
Yeah, but he's mobile.
Okay, well fine. Exactly then. You got to be able to move now because you need to have that sort of open play calling. You see everything the Kansas City Chiefs can call. And it's not like the Chargers couldn't run that on a chalkboard. They couldn't run that type of play in a game.
It's true.
And I'm not a lot of teams, not just the Chargers.
You know what's funny?
A lot of teams.
That the example, Tim picked Andy Reid to be fired and Alex Smith to be benched by the time they got to their bye week, and they said, "Would you say they'd be 1-8 by the time they got to their bye? 1-9, Tim?"
Yeah, looking good.
This guy never ends.
Anyway, but his whole point was to point back how bad Kansas City was. Is they played Pittsburgh and couldn't even score a touchdown
at home in the playoff. It's true. I think this game will be 30.
And now this game is a shootout.
Tim's takes are like herpes. It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
I think the Chiefs win 30-27, and that's how it. So the Steelers cover, but the Chiefs win.
I'm expecting a really close game. I'll take the 4.5.
I like the under. I like the under. If you want to do a tease up Pittsburgh and tease up the under. That would be my way to play it. What is the over-under on this game? You have any idea?
47.
47? Tease it up. You can do the 10-point tease. Tease it up to 57. Get 14.5.
This is a week where the 10-point teaser is barking once you believe in the New England Patriots and Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Do you have that third game you believe in?
You shouldn't believe in either of those two teams.
Because the Jets are going to win, remember.
No, just that. Be very wary. That's all.
New York Giants at Denver.
Sunday. Tim, you can't give anyone teaser advice. Okay?
Sunday night. Denver is... Shut up! Shut up! Denver is an 11.5-point favorite at home. Giants have no one left. Marshall's out for the year. Beckham's out for the year. They are getting Orleans Darkwa back, though. So that's big news. Roger Lewis is now their number one receiver because Sterling Shepard isn't playing, or it's Evan Ingram, one of the two. I don't know, man. Like
Denver off a bye. These guys off the injuries.
How does Denver not cover this? I can't even bet this because I don't understand. Like, I don't know what you can make this line, dude. suck me in.
I'll guarantee you right now, I'll be watching network TV on PVR.
You'll be watching The Good Doctor?
Whatever the wife wants to watch.
Game.
Oh, yes, of course, the baseball game. This is a hard pass, but for this show and the purposes of it, it's the Giants are in the perfect... All of a sudden, the Giants are the New York team at the top of the draft board. Crazy.
Yeah, does that make you feel bad, Tim, when the Jets only end up with like 3 wins because they lose all the rest of their games and the Giants get the high pick?
No, I'm okay with it because there's a lot more than 3 wins on that schedule for us.
It's true. You already pointed out 10 of them to me.
So, I think the Giants would be my Super 7 this week. I know that sounds crazy, but like
it's a lot of points.
It's a lot of
blind points.
It's a complete contrarian. I think it'll be the least bet game in the Super 7 contest this week. Will be the Giants plus 11.5 because it's so hard to step in front of.
I got like a 17-7 final, but I'm still banking on Denver finding a way to just maybe push it over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I just have an intuition that I think that it'll be like 21-17 Broncos, which means that I think it'll be a relatively comfortable cover for the Giants, even though they don't win. I don't know, it's one of those situations where since everyone got hurt, you wonder if that Giants team can't circle the wagons for one game and just put up a heck of an effort in prime time, not to want to get embarrassed in the biggest stage of on Sunday Night Football.
He's making good points.
Listen.
He's making good points.
I'm not betting this game. It's not going to touch my Super 7. I don't know what to make of it, so I'm going to stay away. But for the purposes of this, I will take Denver. The coin likes the Giants with you, Tim.
All right.
Monday Nighter, this game is also off the board in terms of what we know right now on a Thursday, but in the Super Contest, it's minus 6.5 Tennessee. Indy at Tennessee. This is assuming Marcus Mariota is playing. He's practicing right now, but I don't know how healthy he's going to be. I don't know if he's going to play. And the crappy part for like fantasy and stuff like that and the Super 7 contest or the Super Contest is we're not going to know until Monday if he's playing, basically. So I'm going to take Indy. The coin likes Indy, too.
Me, too. I would bet Tennessee if Mariota's playing and I like the line.
You know what?
If I like the line.
Even if Mariota plays, he's not 100%. Give me Indy in the plus 6.5. And if Mariota plays, this line probably goes like minus 7.5.
No, I don't think so.
What happens when Brissett's better than Garoppolo in like 2 years?
Well, it's going to suck for the Jags after they traded Jalen Ramsey for him.
I'll just retweet all those fools that yelled at me 2 weeks ago for criticizing the good Lord Bill Belichick for trading away Brissett for nothing.
Again, your whole rationale to that makes no sense. We've already went over that. If you want to go back to the 2 weeks ago,
we can move on.
It's not. Your point still makes no sense.
I will take the Titans in the game just because I think Mariota will play. It's a divisional game. That division is everything's up for grabs, and the Titans can't afford to lose this game. So I think he pushes it to play, and I think they win the game and cover.
All right. Super locks of the week. I lost last week with Detroit. Both of you won. I'm 3-2. Tim's 3-2, and you are 2-3 on the air. So Geoff, you're the big winner. Lead us off.
Okay, this is tough. I was actually deciding between Tampa and Detroit, and I don't know. You guys are talking about it being on the other side here.
Do you want to pause and go last? And have some more time to think about it, or do you want to...
No, I'm ready. I like it. I'm going to go with the Bucks. Arizona's off to London. I think Tampa has a lot more units, I believe in, than the Cardinals.
So Tampa Bay minus 1.5 is Geoff Superlock. Tim?
Going the other way with it.
That's awesome.
I'm taking the Cardinals getting 1.5. I almost took the 49ers. I almost rode the Jets for the third straight week. And I kind of almost took the Giants, but in the end, we're gonna roll with the Cards.
Any idea what my super lock's gonna be?
Yeah, I think you're probably gonna take the Ravens, and if not the Ravens, I think you'll take the Chargers.
No, I mean the Chargers with this line, it's kind of greasy because that game's actually off the board. Like that's super contest type thing, so it's not a real line. Like if you walked into the casino today and tried to bet it, you wouldn't be able to bet it.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Plus 4.5 is my super lock.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
That'll be real money for me, Pittsburgh.
I like that a lot. So Survivor picks, Tim cannot play because he is out. So Geoff, you and I, we've rode the same teams the last 4 weeks.
Is Denver like a free? Is that, I don't know? Do we get caught there? Do I just ride the Falcons? Originally, I was thinking Falcons, but then you put the Giants' whole situation into perspective.
I'm going to go with Atlanta. That's where I was coming into the week with. So I'm going to take Atlanta off the bye at home against Miami.
And I don't know. We seem to be riding coattails ever since week 1 that we both got through, and Tim didn't. So yeah, I'll say Atlanta again. The primetime thing. It's maybe I'm a dud to think the Giants could be woke when I don't even want to pick them plus 11, but I'll take Atlanta.
Who do you think is more woke, the Giants or Tim? Tim, get woke.
The Giants haven't won since like the boat picture. Eh?
I know.
You see that?
I don't get to make picks, but I would have suggested the Ravens this week.
Oh, another chance for you to be out. Perfect. I almost want to bet Chicago money line now. Because that's the game. He teased them through the number.
And what game did he lose last week?
He lost a bunch of them. He lost Pittsburgh. He lost Houston.
Yeah. But,
Houston was false because he could have hedged and still won big money at the night.
But,
Pittsburgh didn't get him through the day, and that's what's funny. Because we told him, what are you doing?
Yeah, we did. That was the game we told him he'd get screwed on. He did.
No, not even getting screwed. It's not even worth what it adds to the ticket.
Yeah. He doesn't know.
When he had 3 money line winners on the ticket, or 3 pick'em winners on it.
Tim also played pro line last week and put Pittsburgh on his pro line for no money. It's not worth putting on your ticket.
It's not even you're paying on pro line. You're essentially paying what Pittsburgh costs you money line to bet them minus 3.5.
Yeah.
And I also lost a pro line where I had 5 first score tickets or game. Like what will the first score be, over under 3.5? And I hit 4 or 5, but the Bengals long touchdown cost me money.
So, can you please recap your free money bet of the week, which is now 1-4 on the year and lifetime 1-100?
We are going to tease the Houston Texans down to minus 2.5, the Detroit Lions up to 11.5, the San Francisco 49ers up to 17, the Baltimore Ravens to plus a point, and the Arizona Cardinals plus 8 in the hook. Bet the farm, win multiple farms.
You're teasing through 0 to get San Fran at 17. That's
Correct.
The only thing that makes teasing. Okay, I'm just putting that out there.
That's the only reason I'm doing it. And it's only a point, so that's why I'm doing it.
So, Chicago on the upset. What's Chicago money line paying here?
Plus 230.
Might have to be talked into that one. I have to reevaluate my whole. He called him his eliminator pick. He's teasing them through the number. This is all setting up for Chicago victory. Mitch Trubisky on the road as a rookie.
I see nothing but good things for the Ravens this week.
All right, so there's your free money bet of the week. Chicago, plus 245. Thank you, Geoff Fienberg, for being here.
Always.
It's much happier when the Chargers win. You're in a better mood.
No, there's not about moods, because the game ended and I wasn't even happy. It was I wish I could have enjoyed what just happened, but they're just beating out the enjoyment.
Their offenses look good the last 2 weeks.
I'm expecting a couple in a row, and then maybe we'll see something.
All right, then you'll start getting. They're not out of this division.
I'll tell you this
or
right
out of
now.
the wild card. I mean,
play on team the Chargers, play against team the Bills.
Yes, I would agree with that. The Bills have no one left.
And the Bills...
But they're also not playing this week, so don't play on them.
But I just mean the Bills, the match shows the turnovers they've gotten, they have a lot, have been the luckiest kind of turnovers. I mean, it's unsustainable, the defensive turnovers they're getting.
That's why we were on Cincinnati last week. That line made no sense, plus the Bills were getting super lucky. So why not go against them? The Chiefs also have a super high turnover ratio, too. Maybe their offense is just...
But I feel like the Chiefs earn some of their turnovers.
They do, and they don't turn the ball over because they're super efficient. Yeah. Anyway, Geoff Fienberg, follow him on Twitter at GFienberg17. Plus, you can always follow on Twitter Tim Undercust.
Tim Undercust.
That is not
Which is
my name.
essential so you know who is cursed and who is not cursed. Fun fact of who is cursed, Tim Undercust.
No, that's also not my name. The account is at TimAnderson87. Maybe one day I'll have my characters back.
I mean, maybe they found out that wasn't your real account, and your real account was at Tim Andercast on Twitter. I saw you tweeting from that account later on that night.
That's a lie. You know that you did that. But
I don't do anything. That's you. You don't even know. You know what's going on anymore. No wonder you can't have 280 characters.
I'll happily trade those characters for verification, though.
Would you trade the characters for Chile and Alberta back?
He doesn't live there anymore. What does he care?
Sorry. A Chili's in.
Yes.
It's a Chili's above all.
That's the sacrifice I would make for the people.
Good. All right. That'll do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. If you want to see the full cheat sheet, go to facebook.com/thepme. It'll be posted up there. You can go to the Draftkings playbook and find out all of my work on week 6. Most of it far more serious than this. Maybe not better, but far more serious. You can subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience on YouTube under the Draftkings YouTube page. Watch me on the DK Live app if you haven't downloaded that. It is the best up-to-date scoring system of any app out there. So even if you don't play on Draftkings but want up-to-date scoring, it is the best part. The best app to download for yourself. If you got the Score app, throw that out. Get the DK Live app. That's where you want to be.
Throw it out.
Just toss it right out the window. And then you can subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience audio versions, uncut, uncensored. Always listen to it when you want on your phone or computer on iTunes, Stitcher, Audio Boom, and Google Play. Doesn't matter what device you got, you can listen to Pat Mayo, Geoff Fienberg, and Tim Cust. That'll do it for the Week Picks show. Good luck this week. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.